It's literally been a fucking month and a half. But we are back again.
He is back.
Back again. Guess who's back? Tell a friend.
Mari and Jay are back again to react, even though they suck ass because they watch movies for fun.
Jay, oh my gosh.
I don't know. I'm just like...
I'm
happy that we're watching stuff, but at the same time...
It hasn't been good enough to make a podcast out of.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. Whatever happened to the total drama one that we were gonna do? You just totally fucked up on that.
I don't even
We
know.
could have done that.
Anyway, welcome
We could have
back.
been finished by this point.
Can I start the intro then?
Okay, fine.
Okay, welcome back, guys, to the CharmingAnalysis Podcast. We had plans to do other shit, and apparently it never ended up happening. So, we still do plan on doing some stuff, but I don't know. Life has just been kind of busy recently for the last, month and a half. And we've just been trying to find motivation to watch shit that isn't Gordon Ramsay.
Lots of stress and lots of Gordon Ramsay 24-hour hell and back.
Yeah. We're going to do a couple updates really quick before we start this podcast. But basically, yeah, it's Pride Month, and we were originally going to do some other shit. There's some stuff we're still going to be doing, like Owl House Season 2. But it just came out, and we're just waiting for the rest of the episodes to air before we decide to do that. Mm. We're also planning on... here's the thing. This was a podcast I wasn't expecting us to do for a while, but I'm happy we're doing it. Because it was actually really good, but... We're also planning on doing a total drama,
someday.
Mini-series on here.
Any day at this point.
Any day, pretty much, but... We kind of need the time to sit down and do it. Mm. And it's just...
And we're going to watch it when July comes around. But other than that, we don't really have...
many plans right now.
Well,
that's because a lot of the shit that we have planned, we have to wait till it comes out. Mm. We do plan on doing one for Space Jam 1 and 2 when they come out. Mm-hmm. Well, the second one mainly, because I've already seen the first one before.
Yeah, and that's going to be a treat for me, because I've never seen...
either one. Mm-hmm. Which is sad, because they're honestly really good, in my opinion. But, anyway, we do have stuff planned. It's just we haven't really done said plan yet, because a lot of the shit either just came out, or we're waiting for it to finish before we do it. Mm-hmm. And that's going to take forever. Oh my gosh. Anyway, enough with the updates. We do plan on doing shit. Just kind of bear with us for a little bit. Because it's kind of just... We've kind of just been stressed about a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. But we're still doing the podcast. We're not dead yet. Okay? Anyway, that's enough of an intro. That literally took 3 minutes. Actually, I thought that took longer, but maybe not. Mm. Anyway, welcome back to the podcast, guys. Today... we're actually going to be talking about a movie that just came out yesterday, right? Or today?
Yeah, it came out yesterday.
We're basically going to be talking about one of the new movies that Sony released literally yesterday. That's right. We're going to be talking about Wish Dragon. I wasn't expecting us to do a podcast on this, to be honest with you, but I'm happy we are.
Because I was just going to watch it and not really bother doing a podcast on it. Or I wasn't even planning on watching it. I saw the trailer, and I was like...
This looks okay.
All this production for this, I'm just like, maybe not. And then
literally he watched it last night when I was asleep.
Without you.
Without me, and then this morning when I woke up, he was like, hey, honey, we should do Wish Dragon tonight. We should watch it. I'm like, you watched it without me? When did it come out?
That's awesome, Myra.
Jay... oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, so it was a podcast we weren't expecting to do, but I'm glad we're doing it because it's been a bit since our last podcast. Literally, our last one we did was Mitchell's vs. Machines when it came out. Uh-huh. And that was almost a month ago at this point, which is crazy.
I'd rather be doing, if I could review, if I could just review, like, these Sony's movies for all of eternity, at
least the good ones.
No, I could review all of them.
Really?
I could review all of their animated films. I don't care. I just think I think they're that good. Like, I don't care if one is occasionally bad or whatever.
But it's interesting.
I don't care. I'd rather review these movies
than other ones now.
Than fucking Disney.
Yeah. Even though I'm kind of hoping we do one on...
We could do Luca. I mean,
like, that's the only one I'm kind of looking forward to.
Do you think that Luca is going to be better than this movie? Honest question.
Better than this movie, probably not, but I do think it's going to be good. I think it'll be... Honestly, if it's better than Raya, I don't care at this point. I'm actually...
such a bad... Like, Raya's legit, like, going on probably one of my picks for top 10 worst Disney movies.
Which is sad.
One, ever.
You should.
If I ever make one, I know Wreck-It Ralph would definitely be top 3. Definitely.
You mean the second one?
The second one, yeah. Wreck-It Ralph 2 will definitely be top 3. But I know Raya would be there. And it shocks me that Sony was ever able to make a dragon movie better. Like,
that's the thing I was surprised at.
Dragon duo movie than Disney.
But
I'm shocked. I'm shocked, especially since this production has been in... It has been production for a long time. I think.
Do you know how long?
They announced this at the same time as... Well, around the same time. I can't say if they was, like, the same pitch. But I think it was around the same time as when Can You Imagine was supposed... Like... Can You Imagine... was pitched as well.
What is that one again?
That was the one that Gendy was gonna make and never got made. Or Popeye. I think it was like came around the same news when Popeye came out.
But they delayed it and then they made a new teaser and then they delayed it. But yeah, this went through production.
Well, I mean, the Sony has a weird thing with production. Sometimes they will start on movies. They will start on a lot of production and
stop for a long time.
Yeah, and they'll stop, and then they'll have, like, a lot of people come in and make changes, and then, like, it's an occasional rare boon that they actually do make the fucking movie. I can go through a list of all of the changes that literally this movie
alone made.
Well, yeah, but, like, all of their films have made so many, like, different iterations could have come out, and I don't know. I want to do I know that's gonna be hell because a lot of it is just gonna be like a lot of this information is just not here anymore. Like
you probably have to really deep dive.
I have to go
deep dive into it.
I have to go like in forums and shit. But I'm just like, there's so many movies that have been scrapped, and I think the only reason why probably this one was like saved was because it was because of the collaboration effort. I think without that this movie would have just been another one of their scrapped ideas.
Yeah, and that's kind of sad.
Because look at the concept art, it looked like something that could have been like a traditionally not hand drawn but traditionally
animated
painted film. It looks like that because all of the sketches, all of the artwork was painted, and all the concept art was painted. So I'm assuming that at some point
they were like, "Fuck this! We kind of need to do it in 3D, or it's not going to come out,
or it ain't going to come out." And you know what? I don't care. Like, this is as far as this goes, this is another one of those. Well,
that would have a really good art book.
This is another Arthur Christmas. This is another like one of those movies to where it's not really Sony. It's some other companies
that Sony's teaming up with.
Yeah.
But I will say this though before we actually
they helped, but they helped, but still collaborative effort. Good job. I'm not really familiar with Chinese productions on that side.
Do you know
I think the last time I saw something like this was Kung Fu Panda 3. Like, really? Where they had a Chinese, like, production.
Oh, I didn't know
Like
that,
half
actually.
DreamWorks, half.
I actually did not know that.
It was.
Really?
Yeah, because you could definitely tell. You
Okay.
could definitely tell. But I know you haven't seen Kung Fu Panda 3.
I've seen Kung Fu Panda
you
3.
I thought you
but
did.
I never noticed that,
Oh,
though.
no, you haven't seen How to Train Your Dragon 3. No, it was, you could tell easily that this was, like, this is different artwork than, like,
What they did for the other two?
Yeah.
But that's interesting.
I see more two-dimensional lines in this more.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know how familiar you are with, like watching 3D Chinese movies.
Not much.
3D Chinese animated
not
kids
really,
movies.
Not really, like, much on it, but I wouldn't mind watching it, though. Because I've seen a couple clips of, like, a couple different Chinese animated stuff, and it looks amazing. Like, holy fuck.
Because this is not, like... It's kid friendly. It's kid friendly. And, like, you know... I'm so confused because, like animated films and big blockbuster films do really fucking good. I wonder how this is going to, like...
Expand in the industry.
I wonder if this is going to be a
new
big thing.
I think it should be, because at this point, if anyone wants any ideas to come out of, like, productions at this point, they need to fucking team up with people and do that. Because if you're not going to do that, it's not going to get done.
Well, I mean, it's more of a... Well, Chinese already have this all the time. Like, they make so many fucking animated films that we don't see.
Yeah.
But over here, it's like collaborative effort. We get to see them. It's on a big major streaming platform, and it has pretty much an all Asian cast.
Yeah. Anyway,
which is great. I like
honestly,
that.
yeah, I'm happy about that too.
I like that, and God, I like seeing this. I'm just like,
Jay, we haven't even actually talked about the plot yet.
I know, but like, I legit am so curious. I'm legit so curious because I'm legit curious about. Okay, so is how much like, you know, this is gonna be the first of many types of locations, types of cultures.
That isn't just Disney.
It is doing a lot more to me than something like an action adventure fantasy world is gonna do.
Which is
like, I know a lot of them are depicting cultures, and I don't know. I find this a lot more interesting than the typical. We got, like, you know, I find this a lot more interesting than the typical, like, fantasy adventure story. Because a lot of them want to be set in, like, a fantasy, like, type of reality. And this one is set in modern day. So, yeah. I don't know why I find it a lot more interesting. I find it a lot more interesting when, mythical creatures are interacting with modern societal worlds. Do you find that interesting?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, but we can talk about that in a minute. Let's, I know, I'm not trying to interrupt you, but can we at least explain the plot to the audience first?
You explain,
before we go any further?
I was just trying to talk about the production.
I know, but you can talk about it. I'm not trying to be a butt, but can we at least say the plot before we go into it? Because it's like, they're probably wondering, what the fuck are they talking about?
I don't know. It's our podcast.
Anyway,
we're just rambling.
Okay, so
here, while you do that, I'm gonna go get like a wipes because this is bothering me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so since Jay's occupied for a moment, I'll explain what the plot is before we go any further in the deep dive, because at this point we kind of need to explain at least what Wish Dragon's about. So basically, Wish Dragon is about these two best friends when they were kids, named Din and Lena, I believe is how you say her name. So they both found each other when they were kids. I can't tell how old they were, but they were at least like in middle school. They end up meeting each other in school, and they instantly became best friends because everyone was treating them differently compared to everybody else. And when they got older, a little bit older, Lena ends up moving away from her best friend Din, and it takes place when they're adults. So they want to. Well, Din wants to meet his best friend again and reconnect with her because it's been at least 10 years, maybe. Mm-hmm. At least 10, because they look like they're 10 years old. I'm gonna say they're 10.
They're 19.
I mean when they're first introduced, not like later on.
No, they were 6.
They were 6? I thought they were 10. Never mind. No. Okay, they're 6 years old, and then when they turn 19, both of them are 19 at the start of the movie. Mm-hmm. And Din, basically, when he's trying to get money to get to see Lena, he ends up encountering this old man who, oh my gosh, he was a crackhead looking motherfucker. Oh my gosh. He was a crackhead looking man. But he has a green teapot. And
you are taking, you took 25 seconds to explain that whole...
Well, you normally explain it. I like to deep dive into it.
Yeah, but not,
I get it. I'm not doing it scene by scene. I'm just doing the basic plot.
Brent moves away, and the guy's trying to live his best life, but he feels like something is empty until he stumbles upon a magical teapot containing a magical wish dragon
named Long
that grants 3 wishes, and it pretty much is basically Aladdin, except it's not a romantic story. It's
modern
story.
Day.
Yes.
Picture modern day Aladdin without the romance in it.
There! You could have said that.
Well, excuse me.
You could have just said that and we would have been done. Yeah, Mariam, I'm parading on your goddamn parade.
Basically, yeah, that's basically what it is. Anyway, now we can go back into the production shit because I needed to get that out of the way so bad.
Okay.
The plot, because people don't probably...
interrupted me.
I didn't mean to. I was trying not to be rude.
It's okay. You can be rude to me next time. Anyway.
No, I don't like being rude to my kids.
Anyway, continue with what you were saying. So basically, what are your thoughts on Wish Dragon, and I guess how did you find out about this movie?
What are my thoughts?
Yes. Well,
I don't care for Aladdin. I don't. I know a lot of people are gonna compare it to Aladdin, and I know a lot of people are gonna say it's not as funny. Well,
it's not supposed to be funny. It's
well,
supposed
I mean, it is. It's a family movie, and a lot of
but not like that eccentric.
Way. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't care if it's not as funny as Aladdin. I find it a lot more engaging than Aladdin because I swear Aladdin and Jasmine are probably they're not the most interesting of characters.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't care for Jasmine and Aladdin. I think the reason why that film is just so praised by so much is because Robin Williams. And yeah, fucking Robin Williams. There's no topping Robin Williams from The Genie. I get that, but at the same time, I find this a more engaging film to watch than Aladdin.
Honestly, yeah.
I found it more engaging than a lot of these
modern Disney movies.
Yeah, I mean, I find it a lot more engaging because this is, as much as I hate to say this is, probably not going to be, highly praised.
Even though I feel like it should
as, a mid-tier animated film. I know a lot of people might be able to say that, but in terms of mid-tier animated films, I find it a lot more engaging, even if it's, okay, you can kind of tell where... you can kind of tell that this is a very low production value animated film, but I don't care, because I just think that there's, with the amount that they were able to put in there, I just think it's a lot more I personally would watch this more than Aladdin, I would personally watch it. I would definitely watch it over Raya. I would definitely recommend this to somebody.
Yeah,
if they
because
were looking for a good animated film to watch. I mean,
something I will say about this, out of any company that I thought was going to do a better dragon film, besides How to Train Your Dragon, because DreamWorks already has that out of the bag, but
do you think someone's going to make a better dragon movie?
I did not think that there was going to be a better dragon movie between Disney and Sony. I never thought in a million years Sony would go down that path. But I actually like this movie better than Raya. And I will admit that because
I think people are going to like it better than Raya. I think that's just going to be my...
Because at least, in this, both movies are culturally appropriate and stuff like that. But compared to Raya...
Safe. They're both safe.
They're both safe. But at least with Wish Dragon, they make it a lot more interesting and a lot more engaging to watch. That's probably one of the main things about this movie. It's more engaging than some of the other dragon movies that have come out. Which is interesting. Because it's literally Aladdin in modern day. But I actually liked Long. I thought he was a good dragon. I honestly liked him as a character. I thought he was interesting.
I liked his animation, honestly, because
he was just amazing. Seen
that much
fluidity
in a serpent design like that ever since there's so. It's not like they're low on character designs like that, but it seems like
they're not as fluid.
No, it takes more effort, it takes more delivery to make a character like that work, and it seems like
they did
because it's just that's what Sony likes to do. They like to
fluid.
No.
Well, they do.
No, they like to take character designs. They like to take characters and design them in the way that how can we attribute character to personality. And I think that's what makes them so unique in that area. I think that's what makes Sony pop out. Is that characters and personality go hand in hand together.
Yeah,
Where I think so many Disney and Pixar films and even DreamWorks films, even though DreamWorks has a more childish feel to them, those characters feel carbon paste from from their similar animated films, their own category, their own library of them. I feel like Sony makes different characters for every movie they make.
Yeah, and that I will agree on, because at least with this movie,
they don't make better. I will say they don't make better stories. They don't really. I will say that their stories are
playing it safe, but not too safe.
They're standard. I will say that, but what they can do in the Sony's just becoming more like the movie you have to sit down and had to wait to go to the bathroom because they're 2 hours long. But
yeah.
I don't care. Sony movies keep getting longer. Sony movies keep getting better. That's my criteria.
Also, I think we should make another rating scale besides our 1 to 10. Right. I feel like we should make one based on expectations. We should make one
I don't have any expectations. You can have fun on that.
Well, here's what I think we should do. We should make an expectation. Let's picture an expectation. It would be 4 sections. They'd be, oh my gosh, this fucking sucked. This
just
ruined
a 1 to
everything.
10. That's just a 1 to 10.
Pretty
much 1 to 10 is pretty much that.
No, but it's 4. It's 4 types. We have basically we have average. We have below average, or ruined expectations, sad poopiness, or whatever. Basically that's the lowest you can go. And then you have pushing the boundaries, which is above average. And then you have, oh my gosh, this is mind-blowing, the best fucking thing ever. After that.
I like my 1 to 10.
We're still doing the 1 to 10.
Well, you can do your...
But that's for, like, expectations.
You can
We're
do
still
your
doing the 1 to 10.
Well, you can do your expectations over there, Mr. Sadie Poo Poo Pants. Well,
Okay, fine.
stay over here and be reasonable about my ratings and just give it a normal 1
Look,
to 10.
I'm still gonna... Okay, so... We're still going to do the 1 to 10 ratings, because that's our thing.
Okay, well,
but, however,
you can do that.
We're going to also introduce Mari's expectation scale.
Mari's expectation scale. So, explain what were your expectations before I saw the movie, and just from the advertisement alone.
Me describing it to you?
No, just explain your expectations.
Oh.
Your shit that you just made up right now. God damn, Mari.
I'm half tired.
I just got out of work, and you can tell how tired I am.
Anyway, so besides our rating scale, I'm going to start making this thing where it's like Mari's expectation scale. This movie, I put it between average and pushing the boundary. It's not quite pushing the boundary, but it's a bit it's like mid-average. Mm-hmm. Like, it's in between that. And, like, something I do like about this movie, like, personally with this movie, I thought it was really good. Like, it's not the best movie I've seen, but I still think that it's better than Raya. And I'm not going to stop comparing it to Raya because it's honestly way better. And I'm surprised at that. But at least with this movie, they give it depth. They give it, like, a good amount of depth. In my opinion, like, we find out why Long...
Well, I actually care.
Like, you actually care about the characters.
I actually care about, like, them wanting to... It's weird. I care about Lin, like, repairing his relationship more than I care about Raya saving the fucking world.
And that's the surprising part. We care more about Din saving his friendship and helping his dragon friend enjoy the wholesome and pureness that is him, versus Raya saving the fucking world from everyone and basically protecting Siku from...
Siku?
Whatever.
Sisu,
whatever. I don't know how to pronounce her name, and I'm just...
Don't care.
Not really. I don't care.
I don't like that character.
Yeah, and that's sad.
I don't like Sisu at all.
I don't either at this point, and that's kind of sad. I liked her at first, but now I don't. I kind of hate her. I'm sorry. But anyway, so I guess... What's something about this movie?
I mean, hey, at least the fucking voice acting fits in this movie.
Yeah, like it's an all Asian cast, which I think is amazing. Mm-hmm. Can we have more of that, please? Like, more like all cast of like the same race and shit that isn't just white people. Like,
white people doing weird voices.
Like, I like to see more diversity when it comes to like voice acting. I like that.
Oh, we gotta see more character designers.
I know.
Who want to actually push that limit.
That's true.
I mean, at least they're doing it.
Yeah.
Even though it looks like... I was kind of looking at it and I was like...
It's like squash and stretch.
No, am I watching Troll Hunters? Because I keep on thinking of that. I'm like...
It is not like Troll Hunters, honey.
It looks like Troll Hunters. I'm sorry.
Maybe it's one of the companies that helped with it.
Probably, but I was like looking at it and it's like... It kind of looks like Troll Hunters if I tilt my head over.
Anyway... So, I guess what's something about this movie that you enjoyed about it, but you didn't expect from it?
I didn't expect,
Besides liking the movie. You can't use that as an excuse. It has to be something different.
No, I wasn't expecting... I was expecting at this to somewhat turn, like... Oh, well, it's gonna change into a romantic subplot, even though they fucking, like, set it up as a friendship.
But really, it's
the
not.
The dragon is gonna take fucking forever to learn the lesson. Fucking, they're gonna find out the lie. They're gonna do all this, and it's like, it does. And does. It does.
And doesn't.
And doesn't, and then it, like, you know...
It hints to it, but they really don't.
It hints to things, and then and then it just, like, moves really so quickly that it doesn't bother me. And
like,
normally I have problems with that type of pacing, because then I'm like, it loses, if the pacing is shit, then it really loses me.
But this is one of those
But it's not. It's funny enough, and I think, I don't know, I just kept staring at how they animated this fucking dragon, and I'm just like, how it changes size, and, like, you know, how it just, like, moves around the world and shit, and I'm just like, that's the type of shit that I just love to see, and I just like the interaction between, what are you doing?
I'm just moving something.
Oh my god. I just like the interaction between him and Din, Long and Din. I think that they're actually a really good duo pair.
Honestly, yeah, like, that's something I will say about this. Like, something I do like about this movie. Okay, normally I'm okay with romance and shit like that. I'm okay with it, but...
Fuck romance.
I like romance in my shit. However... This is one of those movies where I didn't care about the romance because
there's no romance.
Because there's none. I was about to say that. Like, there's none in it. Like, it's a wholesome friendship, and that's something I feel like we need more nowadays. We need more shit like this to where you don't have to have a romance between a guy and a girl. You can just have a fucking friendship. It's so wholesome, and I love it. Like, I fucking love it. And the fact that, like, they actually don't push it for once is nice.
Yeah, he doesn't say, I love you.
Because he's the friend. That he cares about her.
He doesn't confess and just say, oh, I've always have found you, like, you know, you're
pretty
my
and
one
stuff
true
like that.
love. It's like, oh, there's no...
And it's amazing.
Oh,
Finally, we have shit that isn't like that. Like, thank
you. I
you.
feel like you're just shocked that a fucking male protagonist can actually feel a friendship toward the female character.
Yes, and also, he was so fucking wholesome. Like, dude, that made me so happy. Like, he was so wholesome. I loved it. And, like, I'm not going to spoil, like, Long's backstory, because they do talk about him in this, but, because I want you guys to see it for yourselves, but the fact that we actually get to see why Long does what he does without, like, you know, being, like, an arrogant butt like he was for half of the film, but a funny arrogant butt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that made me like the character even more. Like, I liked him a little bit at first. I'm like, okay, he's okay. And then halfway through the film, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to like this guy. Once he started sipping, like, his friend's dinner, I was like, okay, I'm starting to like him more. And then as soon as, like, it gets to that scene where they don't go into his backstory, I'm like, fuck this. I love you, dude. Like...
Also, he was so fluffy. I just wanted to hug
yeah,
him.
his character design is just amazing. That's the one thing that I also enjoy about this movie.
He's so
the
pink.
wholesomeness. He's pink. He's big, scary, and pink. But, like, here's the thing.
It's not really scary.
I know, but I'm trying to do a meme.
Oh my
He's
God.
big, scary, and pink. Anyway.
The fuck? I don't even
I'm
know what that
SpongeBob,
is.
remember?
No.
The Alaskan bullworm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind.
Anyway,
Scary and pink.
okay, some stuff I like about this movie, basic-wise. The wholesomeness of the friendship.
I'm sorry, you just made me go
And
back.
Long! Long is the best part of this movie.
Damn.
He literally is, and I'm
just found him an entertaining character, but you're actually in love
I
with this
like-
fucking dragon. Jesus.
I like him better, like, now that I know his backstory and shit. Like, that's what drives me to a character sometimes. If the backstory makes me, you know, engaged in the character, I will like the character more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I do appreciate about this. Also, like, the fact, okay, the ending, I'm not going to say the ending either, but the ending also made me like the character even more. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
There's still consequence to his fucking actions, which
But he-
Raya didn't. But okay.
like
I
there's-
should start comparing this movie to Raya because every time I
Same.
date this review like 10 years every time.
Yeah, but anyway, he learns his consequences But
he learns his lesson.
He's
consequences.
But he's accepting his consequences. It's one of those things to where
he's had to sacrifice something.
He sacrificed something to better himself and realize that, hey, this is worth it than going into this other place. This is worth it than what I was hoping for. Mm-hmm. And that's something I do give this movie credit for. Like, I loved that. Like, this movie was just so wholesome. Like, it's just... Can we have more wholesome shit like this? We don't need romance in every fucking movie. Romance is nice. Need romance. If done right.
We don't need, like,
If done right, it's good.
We don't need half-ass messages bullshit.
Jay, let me finish.
Like, we don't need...
Full-on romance.
We don't need... I saw this in one thing. We don't need Pixar... We don't need Pixar therapy session.
Okay.
Like, we don't.
Basically, in this movie, basically what I'm saying about this movie, romance can be good if it's done right. However, it's nice to have it not go into romance for once and just have a wholesome friendship.
Because you're just Demi and you just like romance. Not
Don't
romance.
Judge me!
You just like friendship more than romance.
Well, I like romance in some aspects. However, other aspects, I like the wholesomeness. It depends on the shipping, and it depends on how they portray it. Mm-hmm. That's my thing. Mm-hmm. But personally, I like the wholesomeness in this movie, because I feel like if they just did it as a romance, I feel like we would have just left this movie. Like, we probably wouldn't even finish it.
I would have finished it. Because I've seen it so many times to where, I would have watched it, and then I would have said, okay, I don't think it's worth watching again, but,
yeah,
it's fine.
But I think it's worth it enough to where I would watch this again. What about you?
Yeah, I would. I watched it twice, so
I know you watched it twice, but I would definitely watch this again. But
I liked it a lot.
Okay,
I think it's worth. I think if it was released to theaters, I think it would have been I don't think
overshadowed by everybody.
Yeah, it would have been overshadowed. It wouldn't have gotten the credit. It's still not getting credit, so
which is disappointing because
nobody was advertising this movie. No one's barely even reviewing this movie. So
this is why I'm glad we're reviewing it, because I'm sad that no one's really talking about this movie, because this movie has potential.
It's really good.
It's really good, and it has potential. It's like, come on, people.
But I think Netflix is where it should belong.
Yeah. At least Netflix is giving it a home, and I'm glad at least somebody is watching it.
Somebody is watching it. Well, we watched it.
Yeah.
Even if we're the only two people in the world who watch it.
Yeah. Anyway, so, one more thing before we give our rating. Uh-huh. So, last kind of thing we're going to talk about. We are planning shit. It's just going to take a little bit.
You explained this in the beginning of the podcast, so I'm explaining it.
I'm just kind of going over shit. But we do have stuff planned. It's just mini stuff here and there. We're kind of just going with the flow at this point.
Go with the flow.
We're
just fucking around. Honest to God, if you guys, honest to God, nobody watches our fucking podcast. And even the people who do watches our podcast, if you're, if that one person in the world is where are they? Well, they haven't posted in a month. We've been fucking around. And we've been worried about shit. We've been worried about, a lot of stuff in life. And we're just trying to get through that. Because at this point in our lives, we need to worry about not fucking up. Yeah. At this point. So we're more worried about what we're doing in our lives. We're worried about our health and stuff like that, because yes, we do watch it, and we do not sometimes want to record a podcast, because sometimes it's just
even though I really wanted to do one because we did see Cruella, I wanted to do one so bad.
Cruella was good. I don't think it was worthy of a podcast. I just wanted to watch something just for the sake of watching.
I want you guys' opinion. If you guys want us to do one on Cruella.
No, nobody's gonna answer. Nobody's gonna answer you the question, Mari. That requires
I would like
typing.
to eventually do one on it, but
what if you just answered the question on your thing? Yes.
Fine. Did I like Cruella? Yes. I may end up doing something with it later, but
if you want to, go do your own review of Cruella.
I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, but yeah, be on the lookout for some stuff in the future. Total Drama miniseries whenever we decide to fucking do that. Mm-hmm. We're gonna try for next month.
Review movies. new and old
movies like Space Jam 1 and 2 when they come, like 1 and 2 when it comes out. Mm-hmm. Owl House season 2 whenever the fuck it's finished airing. Those are the 3 things mainly, and depending on how good it is, we might do one on Luca.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind on Luca. It's just like, I don't know how much stuff there's going to be to talk about it. But.
Yeah, but those are probably the 4 podcasts we plan on doing. Well, one of them's going to be a mini-series, but I need to have, like, think about it. Total Drama is like several seasons. That's going to take us forever anyway. So that I already know is going to take a while. The only thing we're really waiting on is just Owl House season 2 to be done, which it just started. Like, there's only 2 episodes out. Mm-hmm. And Space Jam is already out, but the second Space Jam doesn't come out till next month anyway. And just Luca, did Luca just come out yesterday too?
Yeah.
Both of them came out?
Yeah, both of them came out at the exact same time.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, we do eventually...
Disney's already wanting to overshadow Sony, because they know...
It's like, dude! They both just came out! I thought one came out like a week ago.
No.
Maybe not. Anyway, those are the 4 podcasts we do plan on doing. Hopefully in the next, like, month or so is the plan. Well, depending on whenever Owl House Season 2 is done. That one we're going to have to wait on anyway. And Space Jam 2 is definitely going to have to be next month. With Space Jam. At least. But Luca we might do, like, sometime later this week if you want. Do you want to try and do Luca?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it, and I know, like, you know, it's been getting okay reviews. I don't think I've heard anything that's like, you gotta go see Luca right now, and I'm like, it's basically a kid's movie.
But so it looks interesting. It looks like it's got an interesting plot, though. So I am curious about that.
It's alright. I mean, I don't see anything, like, you know, great from Luca, but I'm happy that it's not, like, advertising itself as, like, a grand thing either. So. Yeah,
I think it's just one of those casual movies that Disney's just like, hey, movies. Look at what we're doing. Yeah. Look, it's Italy. It's Italian. Look at these Italian people. And I'm like, I'm more interested in the sea monsters.
Look at these Italians that are played by white people.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I don't even know. I don't even know who's playing them, actually. I actually don't know who's playing them.
Why did that make me laugh?
Damn. I don't even know who's...
That shouldn't have made me laugh, but it did. I think the way you just said it, like, Italians played by white people.
Cool. I'm happy I can make you chuckle.
I don't know why, but that was funny to me. I'm sorry. Yeah, anyway.
Look at us trying to be woke. Anyway.
Whatever. Anyway. Before we do our... Okay. That's basically what the end of the podcast is going to be. Mm-hmm. I just decided to do it in the middle of this, and then we'll just give our rating and be done. Mm-hmm. But be on the lookout for those things coming up, hopefully in the next, like, month or so. Hopefully maybe earlier. Mm-hmm. If we have the time and aren't dealing with shit. So, yeah. Anyway, let's give a rating for Wish Dragon. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. What do you give Wish Dragon out of 10?
I give it a...
I feel like you're going to say 6.
I give it a 6.5.
Really? I thought you would have given it a higher one.
You wanted to give it a 7? I'll give it a 7. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think this is another good movie.
But it's not the best movie out there.
Not the... well, yeah. But what is? It's better than Raya.
Yeah, I think we're not going to stop comparing that. What are you doing over there?
I don't know. I'm picking the couch anyway.
Jay, don't pick the couch.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, you give it a 6.5 or 7. Which do you prefer?
I'll be generous. I'll give it a 7.
You'll give it a 7?
Yeah.
Honestly, I give it a 7 as well.
It's a better rating than Raya. How about that?
Yeah. Honestly, I give it a 7 as well. I think it's a decent film. I honestly think a lot better than I was expecting it to be. Mm-hmm. I'm sad no one's really talking about this movie because...
People will.
I'm hoping they will.
People will.
They'll
come up like 5 years later, like the undescribed masterpiece or something. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
It'll come out.
Why do I feel like Shea Frillis is going to do that? I feel like he's going to talk about this. I feel like he is. Anyway. But yeah, that's the end of the podcast, guys, since we already did our outro already.
Smell my hand.
No. We already did our outro, so thank you guys for watching. Be on the lookout for our next podcast coming up in the next month or so, and hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'm Mari.
I'm Jay.
And we are out, bitches.